Good morning, everybody. I'm back, just posting a quick video, man. The summer is dry. I've been trying to give y'all some more product, but it's tough. It's not a lot of storylines. Sometimes in the summer, but just to give y'all a preview, when anybody who watches Insecure, when Insecure comes back, I'll be doing like monthly, weekly recaps of each episode. So hopefully I have more information for you when that time comes. But anyways, man, so I'm gonna just dive into it. Those who aren't familiar, who should know by now, I am an avid Lakers fan. Okay, big time Lakers fan. Always have been since I was a little youngster and all that. Okay, so just gonna address some recent. I'm not going to address the LeBron thing. That speaks for itself. A lot of people have talked about it. I'm also going to address how, people aren't understanding the moves that the Lakers have been making this offseason since they acquired LeBron, okay? So, just to drop some facts, kind of show you guys that Magic does have a plan, okay? I'm not in his head. I'm not on the Lakers payroll, okay? But just looking at things, looking at it from the outside in, to me, it looks like, for one, there weren't many shooters on the market that hadn't already been signed, okay? There's some guys still out there, but it's like guys who, that's literally all they can do. They're not even really 3-and-D guys like Wayne Ellington, guys of that caliber who, it's really like, are you really gonna waste the roster spot on a guy who only shoots threes, doesn't really, not an elite defender, can't do anything else, can't create your own shots, okay? So that's one reason why these moves have been made. Not to overpay for a guy who really, for a specialist, okay? Not to overpay for a specialist when there's guys who are better all around basketball players that were available, okay? So that's one reason. The second reason, I don't know if people followed this throughout the season, but when they were talking about LeBron possibly playing with Ben Simmons, it was like, it sounded like a bad fit. They were talking about him playing with Chris Paul and Harden. They said it was a bad fit. People do not remember that, tend to forget that the rumors were also that LeBron was planning to play more off ball into this last part of his career, okay? So it makes sense that further, like I said, the fact that he was willing to listen to the Sixers at all, with him and Simmons having very similar styles of play, shows you that he evidently he was serious about playing more off ball. And I think he could do it. He does have extremely high basketball IQ. He's very, very smart. Probably the smartest in the game when it comes to basketball IQ. Outside him, a couple point guards, he's right on that same level. So I feel like if anybody can make it work, he can make it work. Okay, as you've seen recent, over the past couple years, he's worked on his jumper, his mid-range game. Still got to get more consistent, but I think it seems like last year in the playoffs he started to get a little bit more consistent with that jumper. Threes tended to go down, but he don't really got to shoot threes, to be honest. He can play off ball, attacking the rim. Off ball don't have to always mean cutting and dashing. He can play off ball by what leads me to my next thing, playing in the post. Okay, if you look at the guys he's acquired, it's guys that can feed him the ball in the post. Rondo, an elite passer. He's as of right now, Lonzo's still on the team. Lonzo, elite passer. I would consider him an elite passer. Okay, Lance Stephenson, a very, very underrated passer, underrated playmaker. And they said that one of the main things that basically LeBron was tired of was being the only playmaker on the team. Okay. So they went out and they got two playmakers in Rondo and Stephenson, and then people thinking about personalities. That was another thing. I watched the Lakers all last season. I wouldn't say I watched every game, but I watched at least 40% of the games, okay, last year. And the biggest issue that they had was, one, they had no backup point guard. Ennis was the worst backup point guard I ever seen in my life. I mean, he just brought nothing to the table. Two, they had no tough guys, okay? They had nobody at all who would get in somebody's chest, get in somebody's face. They were too finesse, you know. They were trying to be the Warriors without Warriors talent, you know, without that supreme talent that they have, okay? So these guys were necessary. Rajon Rondo, Lance Stephenson, JaVale McGee, these guys were all necessary pieces, man. These are all the type of guys that you need, even if they can be hotheads, even if they can be spaceman. Well, Rondo really not a spaceman, he more so just a hothead. Even if they are these types, man, they all have some good basketball IQ. They all bring an element of intensity to the game that I think these young guys definitely need to see, okay? And back to what I was saying, as far as, you know, they saying LeBron doesn't want to be the only playmaker anymore. One thing I saw yesterday was very interesting, said that he's actually looking at the Kobe and Jordan, how they transitioned to playing out of the post later in their career. To me, LeBron has shown he actually showed last year that he can actually play in the post. He's actually worked on his post game a whole lot. It's not as awkward as it used to be. Like his game is very, very solid down low, and I think it'll only grow as he plays, as he gets older. Okay. The key thing I have noticed though with guys who tend to trend towards playing in the post late in their career, usually they do that when they don't have legs anymore, the athleticism that LeBron had. So, and then I noticed even if they still have a slight some of that athleticism left, it's like the more they play in the post, they tend to stay in that area. They never tend to revert back to really attacking as much. I mean, I can't see this happening with LeBron based off of how he's always played. Those guys really weren't as relentless going to the basket. They could go to the basket, but they weren't as like an unstoppable force as he is when he gets ahead of steam, okay? So, you know, if the reports are true, you know, all of these moves actually make sense. And, you know, another key thing, people relax. These people are all on 1-year deals. Honestly, they know they're not going to beat the Warriors. You know, as a competitor, you can say, man, how you gonna just give in on the season? I don't think they giving in on the season with the guys they've got. I think what they're doing is, if they don't make trades for some of these guys who they're rumored to be interested in, these guys they've brought on develop. Even if they can make the playoffs, man, that develops basketball character. Okay. So what they're doing is setting a foundation of winning. They're trying to change the culture to a winning culture so that these young guys understand next season, 2019 season, what it takes to advance in the playoffs, what it takes to be to win in the playoffs, and they have that year of experience under their belt where they finally have some playoff experience, okay? And they know what it's like, they tasted it, and they come back more hungry, okay? So they've added guys that can get this done. They've added guys that are that have been playoff warriors, okay? You know, Rondo got a championship. Stephenson went deep with the Pacers a couple times. We all know how he and LeBron's history is. You know, so like I said, these are guys who are proven. These are guys who are tough, and that is exactly what the Lakers needed if you watched them last season. Okay, and they also needed guys like a Rondo, who with their basketball IQ, who can close out games. You know, they got LeBron now, who can close out games. They didn't have these types of guys last year. They would get crunch time. They get up like 10 with like a minute left. Next thing you know, they're panicking, allow themselves to be trapped, and next thing you know, the other team is only down by like 2, and it's a scramble to win. Okay. So what they added was veterans who could calm the ship, okay? But, man, that's just my thoughts on it, man. I think if the Lakers are planning on quick thing, if they are planning on targeting anybody next season, I've always felt like Klay Thompson, if he leaves, I don't think he's going to leave. I feel like he'll be the perfect insert next season, because to me, he's the perfect star player for a championship team. From his personality to his ability, his skill set, he would be perfect on the Lakers roster with guys who can pass like LeBron and Lonzo, and with the attention that LeBron draws, he could probably average, in my opinion, 26 a game if he's hitting like he hits. Okay. Well, anyways, I'll dive into who they need to target next year, or even target throughout this before the season starts, as far as if they need to make any trade acquisitions. But I just want to get my thoughts, man, on the current free agent signings, and let you all know in Laker Nation, they know what they're doing. Don't listen to the media. They don't know nothing about basketball for real. I ain't saying I know everything about basketball, but if you just listen to this video, I don't see where anything I said doesn't make sense this particular time. So anyways, man, y'all hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, let me know what you all think. Y'all have a productive Good Friday. Holler at y'all later. One.